Hi guys, it's Kat. I'm here to walk you through a little bit more Weebly stuff. I hope my dog is not snoring too loudly in the background. But let's talk theater page. You guys have a great start on your home pages. That's awesome. And I'm going to try to also kind of talk some tips for things that'll help in like editing and revising your home pages as we do this. So please watch along. But anyway, here we are at the theater page. It says build your theater page, and what do you want on that page? You want to give people a little bit of context. What are they seeing? Have a link to the play you saw. Link to at least two of the sources you used when completing your theater research with a little explanation, context. You're going to have your theater research essay and related images. So what will that look like? I'm going to pop into my Weebly site here, and I'm going to click Edit Site so that I can start editing that again. And then last week or the week before, you were building your homepage. So as that loads, you'll see whatever it is you did there for your homepage. But today we're talking theater. So you'll click Theater. And then you're going to want to make sure you're on build here because that gives you the options to use this drag and drop menu. So again, a lot of Weebly is just editable by clicking and replacing stuff that, with what makes more sense. So instead of portfolio, maybe you want it to say theater instead of edit this text to make it your own, right? Maybe you want to delete this and say, this semester I attended a viewing of whatever it is you saw, maybe Pike Street at the, if I can spell, Berkeley Rep Theater, blah, blah, blah. What, just a little bit to explain to people what they're seeing, right? And so, again, anything you don't like if you don't like all these images right here, hover over them and you'll see this kind of ghost editing tool come up, right? And if you come up in the corner, you can exit out and that will just make it disappear. Sometimes there are these spacers that, you can't see them, but if you hover your mouse around them, then you'll see them. So that's another tip. But again, how are you going to embed the stuff that you're supposed to embed on this page? So one thing I want to talk about is how to embed your theater research paper. And there are options, and I don't have a preference. It's sort of do whatever works best for you and whatever you think looks best. And I'll just show you a couple of options here. One is to embed using a button. So what would that look like? I'm going to take a button from here, and then I'm going to drag it over onto my page, and then you'll see now it says button text. If I click on that button text, now I get this additional menu. So I can change this button text to say theater research paper, or maybe you have a more creative title than that, and you want to title it that, whatever works good for you. So then I can click back. Button style will give you some sort of visual options. Maybe you want it to be, black, or maybe you want it to be a little bit to white blends in there, but you can kind of do what works well for your page here. Position, maybe you want it centered. And then let me move that over here so you can still see it. The link would be a link to one of these things. So if you're using Google Docs, which I'm guessing a lot of you are, you can hyperlink into your Google Docs. So let me show you how to do that. I'm just going to switch screens over to my Google Drive, and this is the theater review paper. I'm going to come up, and there's a blue button up here that says share. So one of your options here is to add people. So you can click in here and add a specific person. But for our purpose, we want a link. So you're going to want to say anyone with the link can view, because if you have edit, then anyone with that link can go and actually edit your document and type in weird stuff. I don't know. So you want to make sure it's on can view, and then you're going to copy that link. And so if you pop back over into your Weebly site and choose website URL, now you can paste this, and now when somebody clicks on this button, it's going to take them to your Google Drive. A little bit of a tip from somebody who's used this before, sometimes people will go, like right now, if I try to press this link, it's just going to pop up with this. It's not going to actually take me to my site. So this link is only going to be live if I publish it and I'm looking at it in the published site. And we're going to do some peer review next week so that, you know, people can kind of check your links and make sure they're working. But you can also check them by publishing it and then looking at it in that view. So anyways, that is one way to embed a document. There's another way to embed a document that you might be interested in. So let me show you that. I'm going to get off the button thing, and then I'm going to come over here. Well, actually, one simple way to do it would be to just drag a text box over here, and then you could literally, I can't talk, sorry guys. You could copy your essay, right? So I'm just going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it in here, and then your essay would just be on the page, right? So that's an option, and people could just see all the text of your essay on the page. That could be a lot of text for one page. So here's another option. If you come down here, you can add this link to a Scribe document and put that in. And so this takes a second, but it'll say this is a blank document. To upload a new document, click here. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to say upload a file. Upload a file from your computer, and then I'm going to say Bay Area. Here we go. Here's my document. It's, if you're using, you know, Microsoft Word, you can just pull it right from there. Now it's going to sit here and think about it, which is going to make some people nervous, but it's okay. I don't know why. It just takes a minute to like work out if it wants to do this or not, but give it a minute, and it will be translating it into doing its thing. So now you can see we were patient, and here is the document. So the nice thing about this is it gives kind of a text box preview of what you want people to see. And then, you know, people can use the scrolling effect to see the rest of your document, right? So, so now you can see how this looks, right? Here's the paper linked as a button. Here's it just pasted as text. And down here is how it looks as a Scribe document. So that's another option. Of course, you can also, sorry, I might be killing you guys with options here, but you could just bring over a file and click here to upload a file. And then same thing, I'm going to upload a file from my computer. So I'm going to say Bay Area. You guys are seeing how messy my computer is here. And I'm going to open that. And now I can even change the, you know, maybe I want this to be on the right or whatever. This doesn't look quite as clean as some of the other options, but Again, do what works well for you, do what sort of appeals to you visually. This is your site. I want you to make it yours. So, so I'm going to actually stop talking for a minute, and I'm going to part two and make another video to talk about linking to other websites and sort of the more visual aspect. Just so this video doesn't get too long and overwhelming. We'll see you all in a little bit.